I don't like this. I gave you all. I said championship. This is a championship. All 5 minutes ago, it was a championship move. Ain't no championship move now. Now you're just replacing somebody, right? And here's the thing. Josh Jacobs, good running back. Very good running back. Still has something to prove. I know he led the league in rushing. It was fantastic. I like the duo as championship. I don't like Josh Jacobs by himself as championship. This throws a wrench in the plans for the Green Bay Packers.
It's interesting that you say that because Ricardo in Canada, 800-990-3776. Hit me with your point here as Kyle wanted 2 running backs.
Guys, this is the NFL now, the new age NFL. Running backs, there's a dime a dozen coming out of the college. As soon as we sign Josh Jacobs, we're just going to draft one in the 3rd or 4th round. You don't pay 2 running backs. It's bad business. This is the way it is. And this is why Goody is a good GM, because he doesn't think with his heart like we do. He thinks with his head and his wallet.
Kyle
this
does.
is a great play. I love Aaron Jones. I think he's one of the best all-time Packers. But unfortunately, he was injured a lot of the time, and you just don't pay 2 running backs. It's bad business. This is a good move, cutthroat. It's the kind of things that good teams do, a la Patriots, et cetera, et cetera. Good move. Draft someone coming out, the guy from Oregon, great running back, and that's what's going to make us win. And remember, this is Love's team. It's not the running back team. That's just an accessory. You can't pay everybody.
I love it, Ricardo. Now, what I will say is, with it being Love's team, I really do think that the emergence of the 3 straight 100-yard games, when it really, really mattered for this team, obviously Love played well at times when Aaron Jones was hurt last year, but if you can get that consistency from Josh Jacobs, a little younger, more healthy, maybe he'll benefit from the Matt LaFleur scheme and what Aaron Jones has been able to do. They're different type running backs, but I believe that if you get 17 games out of Josh Jacobs versus the 11 that you were hoping to get out of Aaron Jones.
Who are you trying to convince right now?
You.
Me or yourself?
You. No, we did this segment last week.
Yeah.
We said, who would you rather have? Aaron Jones, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, and my vote was Josh Jacobs.
Oh!
I would actually love to see what the poll was from that. I know we have it out here somewhere to see what it was, but when I think about it, the most important thing for this team is you got to have some availability when it comes to your running back position. Think about, rewind to last season. Every week we were thinking, who's going to be at running back? How does that change the game plan? Who's going to be activated? That's a lot to weigh on any given offense. With a younger Josh Jacobs, who, let's be honest, is more durable than Aaron Jones, he's not going to bring the leadership thing from what we know. I don't know much about Josh Jacobs, the guy, the locker room guy. But from an on-field perspective, he will be available. He will run hard. And yeah, our caller is right. They're either going to draft a guy or have Emmanuel Wilson back him up for some extra reps. But you got to have the
That's
same
not a
cast.
championship team.
No,
I don't want to hear
be.
and I'm with you. I don't want to hear Emmanuel Wilson's name at all.
What?
I would like
Emmanuel Wilson.
A lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched the Bears game. That was brutal in the late season. But I think, obviously, from Ricardo's standpoint, I agree. Paying 2 running backs is risky.
Yeah.
But the only thing I would have said in counter to that is with the cap going up and having a lot of your skill position players locked into these young rookie contracts, the Love domino still has to fall, so we'll see what he gets paid and where that cap money ends up. But it was this would have been an all-in type move. I mean, you do see success.
What's wrong with that?
Of running backs that, like, where you have 2 great running backs. The difference is, right, Miami, who had Mostert, and then I'm blanking on the guy who came A-Chain.
Devon.
A-Chain, whatever, right? They're not paying both of those guys as much as they would be paying Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones. So, look, I'm not going to lie. My Madden brain got a little excited on the idea of Aaron Jones and Josh Jacobs. Looking at it, as he said, taking the emotion out, Ricardo in Canada, I'm very okay with what Goody did.
No, he's completely correct. It is bad business to keep 2 running backs like that, but I'm just looking at it from Jones is a piece that I felt like this team needed. I trust in this young team, but I still think there's some development that they need to have. In order for the Packers to take the step that they did last year, they needed the veteran presence of a guy like Aaron Jones. My one concern is that the guys on this team are not quite ready to allow for Big Bro, Papa Bear, to move on. I feel like when things get rough and get tough, you had that veteran presence presence of Aaron Jones that can say something and everybody will listen. I know Jordan Love is the guy. He is the man. But is he ready to assume the role of the sole leader of this team? No more D-Bach, no more Campbell, no more Aaron Jones. It is now Jordan Love's team because it ain't Jair's team. It is all about Jordan Love on that offense specifically. We're going to find out what he can do with all that heavy, heavy responsibility.
800-990-3776. 800-990-ESPN. Phone lines open for your reaction. Open to you. Packers signed Josh Jacobs. Release Aaron Jones. Xavier McKinney, who was a target for safety for Goody, signs with the Eagles. So the safety position still out there. Are hoping to see Goody make some moves from that standpoint. 800-990-3776.
Well, Kyle, as you were saying, it is time for Jordan Love to take that step. He showed he can do it on the field. Let's show he can do it in the locker room, because what's going to happen is, whether quarterbacks want it or not, at the top of their job description is be a leader of the team. That's what they have to do, because they're the only one that's going to bridge generational gaps as their career goes on. They're the only consistency. Everything else around the quarterback is going to change. The quarterback is something you can build something on. So even if it wasn't this year, it's next year that Aaron Jones is going to be gone. And one more point before I let you go. We started talking about Aaron Jones more about the leader than the guy on the field. That's a red flag to me, because it is, because once you're starting to make excuse for him not being able to stay healthy. He was great when he was healthy, but he wasn't able to be healthy that often.
But his impact that he had at the end of the season was monumental in where this team went. And again, what I think is going to happen is we're going to be in next season and we're going to regret not keeping Aaron Jones. That is the big thing that if some type of presence, some type of issue. I don't know.
Wow.
My gut feeling is that there's going to be some point in the season where we look back and say, man, I wish we had Aaron Jones on this team. And that it just feels like it's abrupt. It feels like it's too soon. It feels like this team is not quite ready to move on from him, but they have no choice at this point, man. I'm still holding out hope that they might re-sign him. I don't know what's going to happen.
So
right now, I'm having
he is a free agent. He can go through the process. But my thing is after restructuring twice and signing Josh Jacobs and already getting into negotiation where it didn't end well, it ended to your release, it's hard for me to think that Aaron Jones will be back on the Green Bay Packers.
He's going to be pretty bitter.
Yeah.
Right? And he should be pretty bitter, because he did a lot he took 2 straight pay cuts, and they probably lowballed him. Let's be honest. They probably lowballed him.
It's what Goody's done.
Yeah.
And that's how
Goody.
And said, you can win a championship.
This is what the
with
Packers
us.
do.
This is the Packers organization.
Yes,
He's
it is.
29 years old. I mean that's
Jordy
what it
Nelson
is.
would have came back on a pay cut, didn't even offer like anything that he would have even considered because it was like dirt.
It does feel, I will admit, it does feel unceremonious.
To
A guy that has done a lot, and I'm gonna miss him. I love Aaron Jones. He's got to be, even Jason Wilde said, one of his favorite guys to cover. Just a great guy in the locker room, infectious. They will miss that. Someone's got to step up though. It's got to be Jordan Love.
It's got to be
Somebody's
Jordan
gotta
Love,
step
and it's
up.
only going to be Jordan Love. Look, the other news, it's not the other news. There's a lot of news, but some news out of the division is Kirk Cousins is signing with the Atlanta Falcons, and 4 years. $180 million. You know what that is on a per year annual basis? I know there's guaranteed numbers and whatnot, but it is a baseline. The baseline earlier was Daniel Jones, 4 for $160, $40 million a year. Kirk Cousins, off a torn Achilles, is getting 4 years, $180 million. That is $45 million a year. So if you don't think Aaron Jones and Aaron Jones, RIP. If you don't think Jordan Love and his camp aren't looking at that and thinking, all right, Goot, cap went up. You really believe in us? Well, hopefully you believe in us more than Kirk.
And Kirk is 35. I mean, this is for the Falcons, this is close to a Band-Aid where it's like, we're going to get Kirk for a few years here, but we still got to think of another plan. When you're a QB1, and this is what a slightly above average, as currently constructed, coming off a catastrophic injury, gets 45 a year.
This is stupid.
This is insane.
You like that?
This is stupid.
Kirk likes that.
No, this is absolutely stupid. The Falcons they are a bad decision after a bad decision. As a Packer fan, I'm just happy because of the fact that I feel good. This may cost us more money. This may cost the Packers more money. This may cost for. What if this is the reason we had to cut Aaron Jones, because now we got to pay Jordan Love more?
Because the Falcons.
Because of Kirk Cousins. I don't like that. I don't like that.
But think about this as a Packer fan, right? This is what desperate quarterback teams do. And the Packers don't have to be that. The Packer fans should be thankful that they have a quarterback where the problem is
you know what?
they have to pay them.
I want to write this question down because if they would have tagged Jordan Love, could they have already given him a deal before all this?
A tag you can keep
Or
negotiate.
a fifth-year option. If they would have gave him his fifth-year option, could they have extended him? Because he's not eligible
Probably,
Yeah.
because they
for an
would've picked
extension because of the contract that they gave him.
I believe with a fifth-year option, there is no limit to continued negotiation. I believe it's like an activation.
But that's
of
what I'm
the current
saying.
contract.
Like it could have happened before the Kirk Cousins to Atlanta.
You could have done it probably not mid-season, right after the season's
But
over.
you probably could have did it mid-season because they pick up the option. You still have the negotiating power. Because I don't know what year it was for Aaron Rodgers. It must have been. I wonder if they had to pick up his option or not. But they re-signed Aaron Rodgers to an extension during his first season as a quarterback. I think was it after week 8.
Yeah, they did. And the contracts have changed a little bit from CBA to CBA, but you're totally right. Extending the fifth-year option is not a new contract. It's just an extension of your current one, so it allows you to keep negotiating how you want.